yeah, I'd say we talk about some Aaron Sorkin comments news sequel he's making. So yeah, basically it's announced that he will be writing it's called a quasi sequel to The Social Network because this is a quote from him. I blame Facebook for January 6th. I'm gonna read a couple more quotes for you. He says Facebook has been, among other things, turning its algorithm to promote the most divisive material possible because that is what will increase engagement. That is what will get you to what they call inside the hallways of Facebook the infinite scroll. There's supposed to be constant tension at Facebook between growth and integrity. There isn't. It's just growth. And then he says, if Mark Zuckerberg could wake up tomorrow morning and realize there's nothing you can buy for 120 billion that you can't buy for 119 billion, so how about if you make a little less money? I will tune up integrity and tune down growth. Yes, you can do that by honestly switching a 1 to a 0 and a 0 to a 1. So, yeah, he clearly has a lot of animosity towards these social media sites that will promote anything that's popular. And I think it's a very smart sequel to The Social Network because it's not like, I think people were assuming that this is going to be some like story that's solely about the January 6th like riots or, like the storm at the Capitol. But I think it's more about how Facebook turned into this place that will allow anything to be on their social media site and has kind of gotten rid of their integrity. So I'm curious if this will include Jesse Eisenberg again, if it will even be an actual sequel. But yeah, I think it's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah. Firstly, The Social Network is probably one of my favorite movies of all time.
Really? It's a really good one. I like it a lot.
I used to watch it over and over, and
Sorry, go on.
I used to just like the soundtrack. I was like,
doesn't it have a really great soundtrack?
Yeah, like Hand Over Bruise is one of the most incredible pieces of music I've heard. I would like to see what a Jesse Eisenberg, sequel to this could look like. I think that would be quite interesting.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't have to be. But it would. And here's the thing. I would only want it to be Jesse Eisenberg if they could bring back David Fincher to do it. If this is like just something that Aaron Sorkin's making, it could be whoever, I don't really care. But if they're if they want to do Jesse Eisenberg, I feel like they should bring back David Fincher because David Fincher's one of the reasons why that movie's so great.
Did Aaron Sorkin write the first one, or did he not have any involved? Okay, he did. Okay,
he wrote the first one.
Yeah.
So I hope that that's what's going to happen.
Feels like it'd be an A24 movie too.
Could be. Yeah. Could be. But yeah, to everything that you're saying, obviously, like there were other platforms that who were leading people down and organizations that were leading people to that. But what he's getting at, which is kind of like a lot of people and I don't think it's just going to be about that one event. I think it's going to be about how we all collectively get fed these different things and how people become so mobilized and engaged and angered and whatever the feeling you might be that gets you to stay on the platform, because it is, like he's saying, is a way to maintain engagement, to get people not only to stay on it, but to engage. And they don't care what it is that's being promoted, and they don't care what it's doing to people or institutions. And it all seems like it's, an experiment and fun and money. But I don't think it's necessarily only going to be about that event. I think that event will be like
Maybe the ending of the movie, or
something like
the climax or something.
Like, yeah, definitely like a climax. And because that's when people, like a lot of people started to be like, Facebook is, Facebook did a lot to heighten this mood,
Right.
caused a lot, like there was a lot of like not a lot of regulation, a lot of people purposefully like talking with Mark Zuckerberg to make sure that certain things get engaged with more. And I think it'll just be like, that's where like Facebook loses credibility. At least for me, I mean, maybe even before that. But I think it's going to be more than just that. I think it's just going to be like the realization of what was going on. And I don't know, but I think it's, I think it's a good idea. I think, it's kind of sad. Like, I don't think that Facebook, like the social network, necessarily like made that like the company necessarily paint it in a good light necessarily, but it wasn't a bad light either. It was just like this is a thing.
Right, you didn't necessarily hate Mark Zuckerberg by the end of the movie, No,
like you thought like he might be a jerk to like the people who got him there,
but that's just because he was led by somebody who was also a huge dickhead, So
right. So like there was even like a bit of like empathy for the guy,
right?
And it just, you would never even think in a million years if you just watched that movie and you were around in 2010 that Facebook would become such an integral part of the political sphere of people's lives, and to like make a sequel to that about this college kid who just wanted to like make his own thing, make this company, do something that's never been done before, and how it just got to where, everything is now, I think is a really interesting story.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it's like, it's where the story would pick up next logically to me. Like there's nothing significant that happens until, like Facebook starts to make a turn, I guess, integrity wise, like he says. So I think I think it'd be pretty cool, and it'd be very cool to see David Fincher and Jesse Eisenberg both back together. So
yeah,
I'm curious though if Jesse Eisenberg will want to, because like I know he says he liked doing Social Network, but like he got incredibly famous after like Social Network, and like so famous like he could barely go anywhere. So I don't know if like that will maybe deter him from like wanting to do another.
I don't think it's gonna make him, well, who knows? I guess it could make him more famous, but I don't know.
Who knows, right?
I don't know. Who knows? I would like it. It doesn't have to be him, but I would like it. And it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's definitely.
I would watch it either way.
Play him.
Right.
Sure.
I would watch it with David Fincher and Jesse Eisenberg, and I'd watch it if somebody else made it.
Yeah. I mean, and Aaron Sorkin always makes a great like script. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good hands.